Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So as promised, I went ahead and filmed this Q&A for you guys. It was super fun and I had a lot of fun filming it for you guys. You had some amazing questions. I want to take a quick second before jumping into the actual Q&A to just celebrate the fact that we've reached 8,000 subscribers on my channel. When I first started my channel, I only dreamed of having this many subscribers and I didn't think my channel would grow as fast as it has. So I just want to welcome all of my new subscribers. I really hope you enjoy this video, and I'm gonna stop chatting so we can go ahead and jump into the questions. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into our questions. I'm gonna be taking questions that were left on my previous peach makeup tutorial. I had a ton of questions, so I'm gonna go ahead and start answering some of those. And then I also asked on my Snapchat for you guys to send me a few questions. I have too many, so I don't know how many I'm gonna go through, but a lot of them are repeats, so I'm going to pick my top, 10, 20? 20? Hopefully we can get through 20. So I'm gonna pick my top 20 and go ahead and answer those for you guys. I'm gonna be looking down quite a bit because I'm reading them from my phone, so if you guys are wondering. So Jasmine XO asked, how old are you and where do you live? So I am 21 years old and I live in the Midwest. I live in a tri-state area, so I actually live in Nebraska, but that's right next to South Dakota and Iowa, so it's kind of literally right by each other. It takes 10, 15 minutes to get to each state. So it's really cool that I'm kind of close to all these other areas, but I've lived here for a really long time. Originally from California, I was actually born in Los Angeles and then moved here, so pretty much grew up in Cowtown over here. So Deanne Kays asked me, when did I start wearing makeup? I started wearing makeup, I want to say in the 6th grade. I used to wear just mascara and eyeliner to school, and I used to be one of the only girls in my middle school that would wear makeup, and people used to look at me all kinds of crazy. And then I also went through a period of time, I think I was in 7th or 8th grade, where I would shave my eyebrows off, and I'll try to show you guys a picture if I can find one. I'll kind of insert it in the video. But yeah, the struggle was real. I used to have Sharpie ass eyebrows. Started from the bottom, now we're here. So April Walker asked me, what are your favorite brands and drugstore brands? My favorite high-end brand would probably be Makeup Forever. I love the fact that they have so much variety of colors, and all of their products, they have just about anything in their collection, starting from color to foundation. They literally have everything, brow products, so I really like that brand. And when I worked at Sephora, I felt like I gravitated more towards that brand, not only because of the product, but also kind of the history behind the creator. So I would say Makeup Forever is my favorite high-end brand. As far as drugstore, I would have to say that I gravitate more towards NYX, and I love their products. I think they perform very, very well, and I've been using them for a really long time now. So I would say they are my favorite drugstore brand. I'm kind of bummed that they don't sell it at Walmart, but I know you can get it at Target and Ulta. So that would be my answer. April also asked me in the same kind of comment, she said, will you do a beginner's boot camp for upcoming makeup artists? I actually want to film a video dedicated on how to become a makeup artist, tips and kind of my tips and recommendations on how to become a makeup artist. So if you guys are interested in that, I can go more in depth on that. Let me know down below in the comment box if that's something that you want to see as well. But I will be doing something like that for my channel very soon. April also asked me, are you a self-taught makeup artist? If not, what school did you attend? Because that's where I want to go to, LOL. I actually am a self-taught makeup artist. I started doing makeup on myself and it kind of evolved from there. I would have a lot of people that would ask me, people I went to school with for prom, homecoming, they would see the looks I would post and would ask me to do their makeup. And when they first started asking me, I was like, hell no, I'm not doing anybody else's makeup, because we're so accustomed and used to doing makeup on ourselves that when you even think about touching anybody else's face, you're like, no. I didn't go to any school, and I want to cover those topics as well if I do make a video on how to become a makeup artist. I'll touch more on the fact of whether I believe schools teach you what you need to know in order to become a makeup artist, but I will get more in depth on that topic in another video. Next question is from Rochelle Banuelos. She asked, I love this. What made you start What made you start a YouTube? I had a lot of people that would ask me to go ahead and start my YouTube, or the question was always, do you have a YouTube channel? When are you gonna start your channel? And I would honestly put it off all the time because I'd be like, I don't have lighting, I don't have a ring light, I don't have a good camera, I don't have the equipment that I would see on other like YouTubers pages, and I'm like, my stuff will not even be close to good as they are. So that kind of like put me down. I guess I was comparing myself to other people, and that's not what you want to do. So another thing that really made me go ahead and do it is I used to work at Sephora, and I love everything to do with education. That was my job. I used to be a senior educator there, and so I love teaching new techniques, new tips, and just really teaching everybody. So I felt like since I wasn't working there anymore that I could go ahead and translate that into my channel and teach you guys new tips and new tricks and how I do things. So that's kind of why I started it, and it gave me a little bit more of like that boost of confidence to go ahead and start my channel. So Yvonne Lopez asked, where do you buy your makeup? So I don't have a specific place I buy all of my makeup from. I really like to do online shopping, a lot of online shopping. So I like to order from companies like Makeup Geek. I like to order from Sephora, from MAC Cosmetics. I don't have one particular place that I order my makeup from. Okay, so Dada, she said, I love you and your fierce wing. Is it easier to apply it on your clientele or yourself? What is the hardest part of wing liner for you to grasp? And what steps did you take to finally perfect it? So, funny story about liner. Liner is something that's really tricky, and it's something that you have to continue to do over and over in order to perfect it. So with myself, it was a struggle. The struggle was definitely real. I have a scar on my left eye, so it was really hard for me to get the line to be really crisp. It would be kind of rigidy. So what I did for myself was I actually used tape, and that's how I started doing my wing liner. I would say that's a awesome tip for other people wanting to master eyeliner. As far as clientele, I will also kind of incorporate another story with that. I could never match the liner on both sides, and I just had the hardest time doing wing liner on others. When I first started to freelance, it was a constant struggle for me. But I feel like now, 3 years in, it's something that I could definitely get done with and feel very confident in doing it. So what I definitely recommend is just continuing to practice. On my clients, it was doing it so many times over and over and over, it only gets easier. Back to another question about kind of makeup artistry, like the makeup artist side of things. Makeup by Caroline 9 asked me, I know you're a makeup artist and I am too, so my question is, how long does it take you to do makeup on others? I would say about an hour and a half. I don't like to go any more than that. I think that that's a good time where you can perfect a super dramatic bold eye or something more natural. Even if I'm doing something really natural on a client, I still feel like that's around the time that it takes. Everybody's different. Some people take less time, and I used to be a firm believer that you should be kind of at the 1 hour range. Now that I've been doing it more and I've been learning new techniques to use on my clients, I feel like I can perfect a full face in an hour and 30 minutes. If I try to rush it, I just feel like it's not my best work. So I would rather spend a little bit extra time with my clients, even if I don't take as many clients per day as I would if I only spent an hour with it. I like to think of it as quality over quantity. So I'm a firm believer in that. So Kevin Robles asked, how long did it take you to get really good at makeup? I would say it took a good like 3 years for me to really say like I noticed a big difference on the way my makeup looked. I would say about 3 years ago, we all kind of went through the phase where our shadow wasn't all the way blended, we weren't a pro at like matching foundation. So I would say about 3 years ago to now it's taken, and I feel like I'm pretty good at makeup. I don't want to claim that I'm a perfectionist because as an artist we learn things every day, but I would say about 3 years is what it's taken me to kind of perfect my craft. Jessica Jazz, she asked me, any boyfriend, fiance, husband, kids? I actually have a boyfriend. His name is Jimmy, and I've been with him for a little over 3 years. And I do have one child. He is 5 years old, and he's starting kindergarten this month. All right, so on to the next question. Vivian asked, I'm not going to pronounce her last name because I'm going to butcher the hell out of it. So Vivian asked, you always have the best videos. Thank you. Do you plan on opening or owning your own makeup studio someday? This is like a two-part question. So to answer that first question, I would love to kind of have my own studio someday. We have something in the works at the moment where I'm gonna offer makeup application. We have a nail technician that will be working in our location, and we're gonna get a few hairdressers as well. So that is in the works. For now though, I have my own studio in my home, which I work from until the shop is open. So hopefully sometime next year, early next year, we'll have that up and running. The second part to her question was, would you ever do a collaboration with a makeup brand? That is like not even a question. I would love to do a collaboration. It would definitely have to be with a brand that I truly love and believe in, but we can only dream of those type of things. So hopefully one day in the future that will be an opportunity for me to do. So this question I was super excited to answer because it kind of got me a little hyped up when I read it. So Stella asked me, "Hi Giselle, I wanted to ask, how do you find it in job interviews and getting a job when it comes to your tattoos? I've had my current job threaten me for a recent tattoo I'm getting on my inner bicep. Sad face." So that question really irked me because a job shouldn't judge you for your tattoos, especially not in 2016. I feel like before people used to judge you a little bit more, but I feel like now companies should be a little bit more open-minded. I don't have a problem obtaining jobs. Actually, when I got my job at Sephora, I was a little nervous whether they were gonna judge me for my tattoos or not because I have a full sleeve. During the job interview process, I wore like a trench coat. It was like my arms were not showing, but I have a hand tattoo, which I had at that time. I was a little bit nervous, but I think it just depends on the job. So Sephora was super cool about it. They didn't judge me. They didn't even ask me about my tattoos. But if you're working like an office job, I can see why they'd be a little bit more, I don't want to say judgmental, but let's be real. Some companies are very judgmental. I know like banks don't let you show any tattoos. I have a friend that works at Wells Fargo and she has to cover her tattoos. And I think that's ridiculous. As long as it's not anything offensive, I think you should be good. But every company is different. As far as them threatening you, I think that's bullshit because a tattoo shouldn't like define you as a person, nor should it affect your job or how you perform your job. Another really good question. So Sophie Marie asked, how did you get started on social media? And do you have any tips for someone starting out? How I started out was definitely more with Instagram. So I started using Instagram, I want to say like 3 or 4 years ago, and it was definitely not very consistent with it. I would post like once in a while. That's kind of when I started working at Sephora, so I would post like looks that I would do when I went to work, and I started posting more like close-ups of like eye shots. If you scroll down all the way on my Instagram page, which is linked down below in the description box, you'll be able to go down to like my earliest posts and you can see like the type of looks I would do. Now, my biggest tip for anybody that's wanting to kind of build a bigger following is to be consistent and try to post every day or a few times a week. I'm telling you, my biggest thing was that I used to post like maybe like once a week or even longer. I would go up more than a week, and that's not what you want to do. You want to be consistent. You want to give your followers something to look at. And so to wrap everything up, I did want to end this video by showing you guys a little tour of my tattoos. So many people ask me, how many tattoos do I have? Which one's the most meaningful? Someone else asked me, do I plan on getting any more? So I figured I would kind of save this for the end, save the best for the end, and show you guys a little tour of my work. We're gonna start off with my full sleeve. Let me sit upright so you guys can actually see. So I have a Marilyn Monroe up top here, which is kind of like Day of the Dead, and it kind of comes down. This is kind of like my upper sleeve here. She has a tattoo of JFK on her arm, and on the bottom of it, it says Boo Thang. And if I didn't mention, my boyfriend is a tattoo artist, and he has done all of my works. He specializes in black and gray, and he does amazing work, including like portraits and stuff. And on the other side of my arm, I have a portrait, which you guys can kind of see. This was done, he was probably about 3 years old. He's about 3 years old when we took this picture. It was one of the most painful tattoos I've gotten because of the fact that it is the skin right in the inner arm, which is a little bit more like tender and I have more feel. And I'm not sure if that's just me, but this is one of my most painful tattoos. Here I have a masquerade, which is right in the center of my arm, the fold of my arm. It kind of has some ribbon and some filigree tying back. Here I have a hourglass and a watch up top, kind of like an old watch that's kind of cracked, and you see the smoke coming through. And then as far as my forearm, this is the first tattoo that he's ever done on me, which is my last name. I'm gonna show you guys. This is a OG Abel piece, and my boyfriend actually had this girl on one of his t-shirts, and I really liked her facial features, her brows, her lips, like her super full lips. So when I seen this, we came up with it, and I was like, I want to tattoo this, and he went ahead and tattooed it on my hand. To answer that question about what is my most meaningful tattoo, I don't want to say just this one specifically because my son's portrait is obviously very meaningful to me, but this one in particular is one that I got in most recently, and it is a little angel. He has some white doves sitting on his knee, and he's holding one up top, and he's kind of like sitting crisscross there. This is one of my most meaningful tattoos because I recently lost an uncle. He passed away last year, 2 years ago. I lost him to pneumonia, and he was like a father figure for me, so it really affected me. Meaning to this tattoo was like to get it as a memorial piece to my uncle. I still want to add to it. I want to put his like dates down here, as well as his name and stuff. And I have another random one over here, which is my son's name, and it is Adriel. So this wraps it up. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you to everybody that submitted their questions. I had a lot of fun filming this for you guys, and I hope that you guys now kind of get to know me on a different level, a little bit more personal. I will go ahead and film another tutorial for you guys very soon, so if you have any requests for specific looks, please make sure to leave it down in the comment box. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can be a part of the team and stay connected whenever I upload new videos. Man, mother.
Hey, I don't know. You're looking at your screen.
We were not even recording right now. I just answered like 10 questions and I wasn't even recording. Okay, so Dada.
Let me see, bitch. Let me help you.
I thought about this question long and hard, and I would have to say that bitch, why are you laughing over there?
Long and hard. My voice is not gonna, no se va a oír, ¿o sí?
Is my wing fleek?
Your wing is fine.
My makeup. Does that?
Those are bloopers.
Those are not bloopers. Pinche blooper ni qué madre.